Data is the new oil. Monica just explained to us a lot about indexes of trends, studies, and so on. So Google is having a tool which is called Google Trends, which, I mean, in the 4 years I was having client meetings, I was actually always surprised that almost no one really knows Google Trends. So to make a quick survey in this room, who has ever heard about Google Trends? Good. So, in fact, we already see that some people are open enough, honest enough to say, I didn't know it. So, from those of you who know it, who of you has used it in the last 3 months? Okay. Last month? Who has used it in the last month?
Next month.
Good. So, something about myself. That's my track record as an employee. I was working for 2 mobile operators. For example, I brought the BlackBerry to Austria in year 2002. At the second mobile operator, I actually met first time Sabine, was at the project at Hutchison 3, mobile operators 3. From year 2008 onwards, I started to become also an investor in startups here in Austria. And finally, last year, I decided to make a jump from Google and to become an entrepreneur. Is this an applause? No. Founded Victory, which stands for the success in the web. So the W, Victory, get the success with the web. And I have invested in Horizon already year 2011 and also in last year in 123 Sonography, which is a medical e-learning company. So just that you know something about myself. So that's Google Trends. And as most of you told me that they already have heard about it, a very quick intro and then a live demo. That's an example I've used quite often. That's about a bathrobe. So Bademantel for you, Emily, is a bathrobe. So if you're in a bathrobe business, if you're a retailer, and if you're selling bathrobes, you should know exactly when the demand starts to increase and when it drops. So from this chart here, where we're looking for bathrobe in Austria, from year 2009 till year 2016 in all categories in web search. I will show it to you then also in live. You can see that you have each year one spike. Guess which months you have the spike for this product? December. Okay.
Christmas.
Why do you think so?
Christmas.
Okay. Do you know why?
You need a present for your husband.
Okay, I always used to say for your grandpa, but that's even more disgusting. Good. So if you look closer to it, in fact, you see exactly in which week actually the demand, the requests are increasing, which is very important for your media activity. So if you're about to invest in media, you better know exactly in which week the requests are starting to increase. I didn't mention it beforehand. Google Trends is you flip around the search engine. Each of us are using the search engine daily, several times on average. So what Google Trends does is it turns the answer around. You're not getting the result you normally see. It shows you how other people have used the search engine with this search term. So it shows you how often, in which destination, in which context, this keyword was used, which is so helpful because you're having the biggest database out there, which is available nowadays, most likely. Google claims to have 6 billion, 7 billion search requests a day. So you're getting a real-time market survey, and this tool works really real-time. So I checked it last week when the new chancellor was announced. You really could see in Google Trends how the requests for Flyman, for SPÖ actually were rising. So that's a real-time market survey tool. So here comes a quiz for you. I'm having 2 trends in here because the tool, it makes it even more powerful that you can compare 2 different keywords or even more keywords. So here comes the challenge for you. I want to get your best guess what those 2 trend lines are actually representing. In blue, always a little bit higher, red, lower, but what you can see, and I'm helping you a little bit, is actually that around New Year there was the biggest spike, and as this is a monthly scale, you see that on a weekly base you're always getting those little spikes. And the red spike follows more or less 1-2 days later the blue spike. So that's all my help I can offer to you. Now it's your turn.
Comparison between female and male person.
Okay.
Somehow, it's a gender.
Headache pills.
Headache pills.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What's the second there?
Horoscope.
No, it's close. I'm helping him now. It's really close. Respect. Headache pills and
Alcohol, yeah.
alcohol. So what we can see here is the search term vodka and hangover is, so congrats, this is the book for you. I mean, it's fascinating, and it really proves that this works. I mean, that's on average how we Google what we do on the weekends, or we're looking for vodka recipes or bars where, well, you name it. And just to show it to you that, of course, you really can compare the, is it called amplitude? So the index, it's not in absolute numbers. So Google is a stock quoted company. As this is real time, it would be so easy for Monica to estimate the revenue Google is doing within a quarter. So therefore, Google is not allowed to show the real numbers. So therefore, it's an indexed value. And index 100 means that's an expression which is really skyrocketing. So even if it's a flat line, it's not saying that it's flat. If it's flat, it says it grows on average. So if it's going down, then you really have a problem. So flat means it's growing like on average in the internet. And if it really goes up and has 100%, then you're really sitting on a fast horse or whatsoever. So that's vacation in Greek and vacation in Ireland. And here you really see then how this compares, because it's always the index adopts to the search expression. So if you're only looking for Ireland, then the red line is much higher. But if you compare it then with Greece, then the scale adopts. So I'm now switching to the screen, and as I'm only seeing it on one screen, I have to turn around. I'm only a male, I'm not able to multitask. So, no, definitely not. But if you want, we can play a game. if you want, we can play a game that no one in the room is capable of multitasking. And the bad joke is, the reason why females believe they are able to multitask is just because the males... Okay, you do not want to hear it. Good? It's not that bad. Good. So that's Google Trends. And if you Google it, then if you just say Google, oops, you always will find it by surprise on top. So, and here comes your keyword. Give me just one keyword from one of your services or products. Let's use feedback. Feedback tools.
One word.
One word.
Feedback, one word.
Okay. So what we see here is it's not strongly growing, it's growing on average. And that's really important that you have figured out once that you can change it. So you can search by country, you can adopt the scale, you can say last 90 days, 30 days, whatsoever. Then you can adopt to the categories. If you're looking for Java, it might be the code, it might be the island, it might be something else. So if you're having an expression which is not really clear, unique, then you better categorize it like automotive, food and drinks, and so on, finance. And then you also can look for YouTube. So if you're really looking into videos, for example, only go to the video search and not just to the web search overall. And by doing so, you always get very important insights. What we actually did when I was working at Google, whenever we did a workshop, we did a lot of those charts, just have put it on the wall and have discussed it with our clients, with our partners, what they think about it. Because that's just data. But once you put the data in front of your partners and start discussing it, you make it really valuable insights. So it's not the data itself is having the value. There's an expression in English which says, data makes your suitcase heavy, but insights make you rich. So, but you can get insights from such data. So that's real-time market research, and it's probably the biggest database you can use. And I checked beforehand, for example, that's another example I'm always showing is the expression customer journey. It's not that old. It's actually started more or less in year 2007. And I wanted to show you actually something else. Egypt Air.
With an E.
So what you can see, and that's not surprising, but this shows that again the data is really live. This is when it was announced that the plane is missing from Egypt Air this week, and you really see the spike. And therefore it's the best real-time tool I know. Of course you need to know what you're looking for, but that's always the case. And I wanted to share it with you. And the way I'm using it, whenever I'm having a discussion with my team about should we say this or that, then I'm always using Google Trends, because I'm showing to them the language our customers are using. Shall we call it this way or that way? And I'm always saying, let's see how the clients are searching for it. And quite often there is a big, huge difference in between, which you'll never ever figure out just in the discussion. Therefore you need data. Make sense?
Could we do Brexit, please? Could we do one more Brexit?
Of course. together with Egypt there?
Perhaps not.
Let's see whether there is a link or not. Oh, I was just showing. I was just showing that you can use 4 or 5 expressions together. So Brexit looks like this is a seasonal trend.
How far
No,
back
no,
are
sorry.
we looking
This
at?
is 7 days. I was thinking it's an annual chart, but this is now a 7-day. Let's go first last 12 months.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
and something else I didn't show to you yet is I can zoom in the regional interest. If I'm looking here for UK now, United Kingdom, I also can check where do the strong query volumes come from. And I even can go to the big cities. So it looks like in Oxford they are most interested in politics, Southampton less. So that's all insights. Yeah, it may help you. And here, and this is always inspiring for me, here you get the fastest growing, zunehmende, and the most often used expressions in combination with the keyword. Poll Brexit, European Union Brexit, UK Brexit, referendum. So this is all free data for you. And we were using, for example, with clients, when I was working with Zalando, I was showing to them the big differences in language usage between Germans and Austrians. And I have shown them several examples like Weihnachtsmann and Christkind. So Santa Claus and So it varies a lot in between Germany and Austria, and even in Austria you can see west-east, a big difference in there. So how much time do I have left, Sabine?
How much do you need?
Well, 5-10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
10 minutes is fine.
So Global Market Finder, that's another tool which is more or less similar to Google Trends. Now you've got Google Trends, you fully understand how Google Trends works. With the Global Market Finder, I can figure out if I'm having a product I'm selling in Austria, I can figure out how is the search volume for this product in other markets. So name any product you're interested in. Klimaanlagen. Yeah? The good thing here is it actually helps you because Google is having a service which is called Translate. So it helps you to translate it automatically. So in order to avoid that Monica is doing an automatic, an API call more or less, it has these stupid characters just to avoid that the analysts are doing this too often. Because then again they would understand how the revenue works. So here you can see country by country how often this is searched in Brazil. You also see in which language. It's in English, air conditioned, and in Portuguese, of course, in Brazil, air condicionada, nato. Japan, Argentina. So free data. Whenever you're looking for expansion, export, then the Global Market Finder is a very valuable tool. Next, the customer journey. As I have shown to you, the customer journey is a pretty new expression. It was before the... Oops. No, I'm not anymore here. Where was it? Good. The customer journey was the expression which was pretty new. And what you can do with this tool is you can get an idea how certain media channels interact before the purchase. So Google is having tons of data and they know exactly with Google Analytics, and that's actually the tricky part, that even Google Analytics data is your data. Google is using it for such tools. So that's the tricky part Google is in, that they use data which they do not own. However, for us it's good because we can use it in this case. So Google is analyzing before a customer has purchased any good for a certain industry, like in food and drink, what was the customer journey beforehand? How did he recognize that this product exists? And channel by channel, you see exactly where does the channel fit into the customer journey. And by doing so, I mean, you can select with this tool whether you're looking for small, medium, or large companies. You can look for different industries, home and garden, for example, and you can select the market. Only the big markets are here to be selected, but I'm quite sure you always will find a market which is similar to your market. And then you can see for the home and garden industry, before the checkout, before the good was purchased, it has always, on average, this media channel interaction. So at the beginning there was a display click, a referral, social media, email marketing, brand paid search, and direct. And if you're the guy who is supposed to decide where to spend the money, so you're having a marketing budget, where would you rather spend your money? On the right hand side or on the left hand side? Who is for the left hand side? Who is for the right hand side? Who is for nothing? Okay. So the answer is pretty clear from Google perspective. It's on the right hand side. Because you're pretty close to the point where the client is going to buy. So he's now well informed. So he's more or less in the final stage. So grab this client and let not your competitor grab it. And if you invest here, the return of investment will be immediately. While if you invest on the left-hand side, it may take 12 weeks, 18 weeks, and so on. Good. This was another tool, and last tool I'm going to show live to you is SimilarWeb. Who of you guys knows SimilarWeb? One? Only one? Wow. Good. So, as we were already in the home and garden industry, I'm showing to you Home24. So, SimilarWeb is I think it's a US-based company, as most of the web companies are. And what do? They have developed a browser plugin. So you can install as a user a plugin to your browser to get additional information about the website you're visiting. So very helpful, you know whether there's a lot of traffic there and so on. But the real business model for them is to collect data, because they get the real data from your browsing behavior. And as they have more than 50 million users where they get the data from, they can make statistics how often a website is visited. So for Home24, which is a kind of Zalando company, belongs also to the Somewhere brothers, you get figures like the traffic on their site, the time on site, on average, how much time does a user spend on this site. So if I'm a competitor of Home24, this is a very valuable information, because I can compare this time with my own data and figure out whether they are doing better or me. Page views on average, bounce rate. What else? I see exactly where the traffic comes from to this certain page. I see the traffic sources. I see that Home24 is getting 44% from search. I can see the referrals. I can see how much they spend on Google, on search engine marketing. Boom. Organic searches, so they invest heavily into search. And I see their display ads, I see their organic keywords, their paid keywords. I see that 1.8% of their traffic is generated by social. Facebook, of course, the main social channel. I can see then I was once able to see their display ads. I do not see it in this version now. Yeah, here, no, I do not see the display banners in here right now. But this is the free version. So I'm showing you the free version. It's also a pro version available where you have to pay something for getting more detailed data. So whenever you're interested in how a competitor is generating traffic, then have a look at SimilarWeb. The only downside is it only works with the big companies, because even 50 million installed base, or maybe they have nowadays 100 million, for a really niche website, it's not really reflecting solid data. So the smaller the website is, the more shitty is the data in here, and it's not a real data. So, is it? Excuse my French. Those were the tools I wanted to show to you in live. And the last one is, in addition, I was actually working on this. Sorry about that. In addition to that, there are tools like OnPage and Xovi, which helps you a lot to optimize your search engine optimization. There you really get data, how certain web pages rank on certain key terms. It's amazing how much data is available. Those tools cost you a little bit, but it's more or less free. Everyone in this room can afford it. Hotjar, a very interesting tool. I just learned about Hotjar 3 months ago. It's a code, a JavaScript, which you implement like Google Analytics on your website. And what can you do? You just can define pop-ups which pop up for the user on your page. You can another tool which costs you $20 a month. And here, for example, you can easily show a heat map, how certain things are clicked, how the needle moves, how people are scrolling on desktop. And that's just by implementing a small JavaScript on it. So that's on our page, 1, 2, 3 sonography. Here you really can see where people click. And coming back to market data to service, we made a ball before we launched a new product, which was called Abdomen. And we asked people whether they would be interested in this new product. And that's what we got, this Net Promoter Index, where you can see immediately whether you're really having something in your portfolio of interest, of relevance or not. So more or less another free tool. It's web technology, it's easy to implement, it's something which is up and running within an hour and which gives you additional data besides the well-known Google Analytics stuff and so on. If you need anything on that, I'm more than happy to give you more insights on that. And else, the key message is there are plenty of tools out there which help you to make better business decisions, and you better look out for those free tools and become even a better entrepreneur, better manager, and so on. Thank you.